get up. You won't believe that because you'll understand that's not the truth of you. So, this individualized, see, the eternal selfhood began to individualize itself as me. Even before we came forth as distinct units of consciousness. So, here we are now, each of us are just distinct units of consciousness. You are a unit of consciousness, and you decided to call it Gloria. Prophetess Deborah was a unit of consciousness. She decided to call it Deborah. I became a distinct unit of consciousness and called it Bernard. But it's all one consciousness that made a distinction. Only for identifying purposes on the cosmos level or on the planetary level, Earth, the planet Earth level. So we can be individualized consciousness. But when we come back to ourselves, we become universal man. And when I start to understand that I am just a distinct unit of consciousness, that means now I am ready to start to perform miracles. So all I got to do is keep coming back to myself and understanding that I, as a distinct unit of consciousness, let me go back to myself. Let me come back to myself. Because, see, even the prodigal son had to come to himself. Why? Because he got lost in his individualized self. Separated from the Father, separated from the Father economy. And that's why we got to watch that we don't get lost in the world of materiality, that we lose what we said earlier, that my consciousness of God as my supply is my supply. We never want to lose that consciousness of God as my supply. If we ever did a teaching here that we want people to drive it home, never separate from your Father. Separation of the Father or separation from the Father is death to your supply. And the prodigal son showed us that. So never become separated from the Father. Separation from the source becomes death to the supply. And so my consciousness of God as my supply is my supply. When I lose consciousness of God as my whatever, then that is when it starts to diminish in my life. It's nothing that I do. All it is everything that the Father in me that keeps doing the work. Okay. Read on, Prophet Kelly.
What do you want? Principle number 13. Focus your thoughts on what you really want in life.
Good, okay. Now we're going to begin to look at something here. We know that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So this is to bring understanding on how to get that want removed out of your life. And the way you remove want is by getting into focus. Let's look at a technique here that John Randolph Price begins to give us.
You should focus your thoughts on what you really want in life. In other words, before you reach the level of consciousness where the choices of self are automatically outpictured, you must assume the authority to choose the things, circumstances, situations, and experiences that you deeply desire, knowing that desire is the first step in the action cycle.
Okay, now, so therefore we have an action cycle here. And the first thing is that you must assume the authority. See, the people that get paid in life are people that are authorities. That's why they tell you to write a book. When you write a book, you're what?
An authority on the subject.
You're an authority on the subject, so that makes you a what? They tell you you're a what?
Author.
An author, which is an authority. You don't become a master until you have a written work. You got to become an authority on a subject. And you got to be able to write a plan. Until you write, you're not an authority. And if you're not an authority, no one wants to hear a word that you've got to say. Now, this is why a lot of people miss out on some real unique blessings in life because they don't know how to become an authority in life. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to talk to you some more about this. Focus on what you want. Let's go to this announcement, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Okay, focus your thoughts on what you really want. So we see the first action step is desire. We see the first action step is desire. Read on, Prophet Kelly.
Without desire, nothing happens.
Right there. Now, right there. Now, right there, I want everyone to just type it. Without desire, nothing happens. Without desire, nothing happens. So, when you begin to look at this, you begin to understand that without desire, nothing happens. What does that say to you, Prophet Kelly?
Master Prophet, I'm in the next statement, really. I don't know if...
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because it's without desire, the universe and planet Earth would not have been created. And so what I thought is that because I desired the universe and the planet to be created, so it is.
Amen. That's it.
I desired it. I wanted it to exist so I could come and play.
Yes. And so that means everything, you could not come into the planet until all the players was in place. Yes. When God made man, or put it this way, when God put his own self-image, because it was really the imago Dei, if I can say that, the image of God. I believe that's in Latin. You begin to see that when the self-image or God image came into play, this is very powerful. So this becomes a very powerful thought. And we need to begin to understand this, because without desire, nothing happens. Everything starts with a desire. So read that again. Without desire.
Without desire, the universe and planet Earth would not have been created. Without desire, you would not exist.
Right. You could not exist without desire, which means nothing comes into your life without you first desiring it. So this is a very powerful thought. Now, read on.
Principle number 14. The law of focus is an act of faith. By seeing it in visible form and experienced through creative visualization, you are clearing the channels of any opposing views and are molding the unconditioned energy according to the clarity of your vision. By loving what you see, you are focusing the flow of substance through your consciousness. And by speaking the word that it is done, you are taking an act of faith that acknowledges the action of spirit.
Okay. And so we begin to see here, by seeing it in visible form and experienced through creative visualization, you are clearing the channels of any opposing views and are molding the unconditioned energy according to the clarity of your vision. So everything is having clarity of vision. Amen. Prophet Cynthia, what would you say about this?
Yes, the law of focus is an act of faith. You know, that is so important. Again, as you focus your mind and focus your thoughts, those are the things that begin to come to you.